And we are live, except we're not live. We're recording this, but kind of live
Yes.
and recording. Okay, so we are going to be talking about some symptoms that you probably have and that you probably don't know why you've got them. The real purpose of this video is to share some information that is not very well known about a sneaky cause of a whole bunch of symptoms that many people have that they blame on other things. Okay, and Stacey is one of the people who has a bunch of these symptoms. Now she started off pretty much very rough a year or two back where she wasn't really even functional. She had a massive symptoms and she has done fantastic. So much better. But
Hmm.
she still has a bunch of symptoms that are now manageable, but you don't want symptoms, right? So we're going to be talking about some of those symptoms. So one of the symptoms that I have personally noticed in Stacey that you may have too is a difficulty in dealing with stress. Right? So when Stacey gets stressed, she gets stressed, right? And sometimes it's about not very much, but in her head it's a big deal, and I'm like, Stacey, it's not a big deal, but she's stressed out. So we all get stress, but our ability to handle stress varies depending upon certain things. Now, if you're a person who doesn't handle stress too well, you're going to probably learn some really cool stuff in this video. If you're a person who gets anxious, you're probably going to learn some really cool stuff in this window. In this video. It's on Windows. I don't know. So if you're a person who has depression, if you're a person who doesn't sleep well, maybe you don't get to sleep well, maybe you wake up, maybe you sleep for 8 hours solid, but you don't get into the deep REM sleep much. You don't feel
Hmm.
refreshed. Then this video is going to give you some answers. Maybe, in fact, I'm going to try and find a slide while Stacey takes over for a second, while she talks about some of the other symptoms that maybe you might have that you right now don't really know the cause of. Maybe you've got SAD. What's the cause of SAD? You may think it's a vitamin D deficiency, right? Can
Hmm.
be, not very often. There's another reason for it. There's another problem. We're going to be talking about that. Let me see if I know how to share a screen while. Oh, what do I
Well, while you're figuring that out, I can kind of go over some of my issues that I have. Um, Something that I've noticed within myself my whole life is that if anything goes wrong, even a tiny little thing or a big thing, my brain reacts the same. I go into like this cycle of negative thinking. I get overwhelmed to the point where I don't even want to look at my phone, talk to anybody. I want to isolate. My heart rate goes up. I start to get to where I can't fall asleep at night, and it can be like I said, from a small little bit of stress or a big amount of stress. And what happens is when I get myself all wound up like that, have a really hard time coming back down to reality. I talk to you often when I get like that because, we have a very close relationship that way and you're good at talking me off the ledge, so to speak. But I was getting so frustrated because I can't have that happening every day. I really can't. I just don't have the lifestyle that affords me the opportunity to be stressed and anxious every single day. And I know that with my damage, I have really affected my neurotransmitters because while I was really deep in my injury, I was having all kinds of suicidal ideations. I was basically having to talk myself out of ending my life every day. It was that severe. So I've definitely bounced back from that, but I'm still not handling stress well. And that is where we started doing research and all of that stuff. And yeah, that's why we want to educate people on this because there's so many things I didn't know that could be causing that. And it could all be related to one thing. And I was shocked to find out that I have so many symptoms of this one thing.
So let's look at some of those symptoms. So one of the other symptoms is that you're easily addicted to things, maybe sugar, alcohol, TV, whatever. You
Mhm.
get addicted to stuff really easy.
Mhm.
Maybe you have a lack of self confidence. That is a
Yes, I
really
struggle with that.
believe it or not.
Mhm.
Maybe you have mood disorder, like your mood is all over the place, frequent moodiness, uh,
Mhm.
obsessive compulsive type disorders. Maybe you're a bit OCD. It's another.
Mhm.
Fibromyalgia or unexplained muscle pain is yet another one. Maybe you crave wine or alcohol, especially in the evening. Okay,
I
all
don't.
of these are symptoms of a low chemical in your body that a lot of people believe is a
Mhm.
hormone. It's not a hormone, but in fact, you might be wondering what that smiley face is and the sort of a little bit of the graphics peeping around the video. That's actually a molecule showing graphically, and it's a molecule of a chemical that people often believe to be a hormone called serotonin. Serotonin,
Mhm.
low serotonin, is responsible for everything that we've just mentioned. Okay, so there's some of the list, some of the things that we just went through. Okay, the list is much bigger than that, but that's some of the key ones. Now, to make matters worse, there's also a list of symptoms for high serotonin, right? So you don't want low serotonin, but you even more don't want high serotonin, because high serotonin is even worse than low serotonin. One of the symptoms of high serotonin is death.
Mhm.
Pretty serious symptom right there. Okay, suicidal tendencies is another symptom of high serotonin. Okay, some of these
Mhm.
same symptoms are also depression is also could be low or high. So some of the symptoms
Mhm.
work both ways. Some of them are particular to either low or high. So who knew that serotonin had so many effects on our health if it was low or if it was high? Not many people. I certainly am only recently learning some of these symptoms. Some of them I knew, some of them I didn't. So, one of the problems with many of these symptoms is that a lot of the time it's hard to treat naturally. So, if you
Mhm.
have anxiety, for example, and you're trying to treat it naturally, hopefully you've had some success. A lot of people don't have much success, which drives them to go down a horrible pathway where they go for certain medications. I'm going to be careful, maybe naming them, but you kind of know the kind of
Mhm.
medications that are likely to be prescribed. And the problem with them is for many people, they do initially work because they do raise the serotonin levels. And the serotonin levels are what everybody knows. It's the happy hormone, they call it. It's not a hormone, but the happy hormone.
Mhm.
Probably people are familiar with a drug called ecstasy. And ecstasy makes
Mhm.
people feel what? Really good. How does it do that? Raising serotonin levels. So this is the chemical that makes you feel good. And if you don't have enough of it, then you don't feel good. But if you have too much of it, you also don't feel good. So the problem with the drugs that raise your serotonin is they often raise it too much. So initially you feel better, and then as it gets too high, then you start feeling bad again because you now got high serotonin. So here is the really cool and exciting news on that. There is now a natural, completely natural, basically one ingredient, unless you count water or peppermint leaf flavoring as an ingredient.
Right.
Yes, they are, but they're neither here nor there. You've basically got one ingredient that comes from a specific type of plant, and it's only an ingredient in that plant when the plant is very, very young. It lasts for a very short space of time, very hard to get. Hey, Stacey, why don't you tell them the story that how this was discovered in field mice?
So scientists were studying field mice and finding that they were only breeding when this certain plant was sprouting. So it was making them, happy and high libido and all that stuff from the results of this plant coming out of the ground. So based on that, they started researching that, like, what would the effect be on humans? And apparently they've been trying for several decades to get it into the proper formula, which they have finally figured out. And it is in the form of an oral spray, which I love. And like you said, it is completely organically grown, no chemicals, no synthetics. And yeah, that's how they figured it out, by watching these field mice.
So you can learn a lot from mice, apparently. So yeah, so these mice were only mating in this very small window, and it turned out that the chemical was only in the plant in this very small window. So when they first
Mhm,
isolated it, gave it to the mice were suddenly mating all year very happily. So
mhm,
then they tried to give
mhm,
a therapeutic dose for humans, and it needed 48 capsules a day, which people were reluctant to do for obvious reasons. So it's taken many
mhm,
decades before they finally figured a way of getting a therapeutic dose into humans, and it's via a spray. And they've created an incredible delivery system where basically they managed to split a water molecule open, remove the impurity which is always in a water molecule, and replace it with the active ingredient. And people are seeing amazing results. So, um,
mhm.
Stacy wanted to do this video because she just got her product today, and she was gonna try it over a few weeks and see what impact it had on her. She got it today. She's been quite stressed this last couple of days for various reasons. There's stuff going on which has been stressing her. So she said, "Oh, this is good timing. I feel really stressed." She sprayed it in her mouth. You can take over from there.
Yeah, so I was eagerly awaiting it to arrive today because I've been stressed. You know that I've been calling you and venting and things out of my control, but I have a really hard time accepting that things are out of my control and just going back and focusing what I can control. So I was super excited to have it today. I'm like, I need this so bad. I hope it works. So I took the bottle out of the package. I sprayed 5 sprays in my mouth. And within 5 to 10 minutes, I was able to like laser focus on my work. I wasn't feeling frazzled. I had started to have like because when my stuff goes haywire, I still have like adrenal dumps and my chest will get all red, and you'll still see some remnants of that because it was only just a couple hours ago. However, I have been sitting down doing work. I called you because I'm like, this is so awesome. I feel so great. Also, my son Sam, he's been having a stressful day with his father, and he's like, Mom, I want to try it. And he just tried it and reported back to me the same. Within 5 to 10 minutes, he felt calm and like happy. He's like, is that really why I'm feeling happy? And I kept saying the same thing. Is that really why I'm feeling better? But it literally is the only thing I've changed today in my normal routine. And I've tried other things in the past, like you mentioned, medications and herbal remedies and stuff like that, to no avail, you know. And this was so instant, and just I still feel so like peaceful, and I can't even explain it. But yes, it worked, and I'm so excited because I have been on medications in the past, off and on them. And like you said, they might temporarily help, but really, in the end, all they did was throw me way further out of balance, making me sicker, yada, yada. So I am thrilled that after just 5 sprays, I'm feeling so much better. And that is something I struggle with so bad, Ethan. Like, I needed this so, so bad, so bad.
So Stacey's not the first person that we've talked to this week who've, in a matter of 5 to 10 minutes, had their stress levels drop right down, their anxiety, all of this. Now, I will say, we have had some people that are 3 days in and haven't felt anything yet. So
Mhm.
it work instantaneously for everyone. It depends how out of balance your body is, but it's pretty common for day one and often in the first 10 minutes for people to see results. One of the things
Mhm.
I really love about this product as well is that, first of all, it has utility patents proving it works for depression, for anxiety, for even as
Mhm.
an adjunct therapy for addiction, and for suppression of appetite, for a lot of different things. It has, so a utility patent is basically a patent saying that it works in humans to reduce whatever it's patented for, depression, anxiety, and so on. But
Mhm.
which is very, very rare in natural health, and so confident are the
Mhm.
company in this product that they give a full 60-day money back guarantee. And I love that. Can't normally do it because obviously, you know, people a lot of people abuse systems like that, for one, but
Mhm.
they actually have a less than 1% return, because this product really, really works. So
Mhm.
if you have any of the symptoms, especially if you have multiple ones of the symptoms, and if you want to learn a bit more, just do a Google, put low serotonin symptoms into Google, and you'll start finding a whole lot big list of different things, digestion, all sorts of stuff are related to
Mhm.
that. So
One of the biggest ones, Ethan, that I didn't realize was related to low serotonin is self-worth and self-doubt. So, and also feeling a lot of guilt. Like I didn't know that that could be related to serotonin. I thought that was just my own, what I've been through, whatever. But yeah, that's something I struggle with is constantly feeling like I'm not good enough. I don't have the worth, as well as I do. I have been subjected to lots of bullying online. So that definitely doesn't help. So that was something I was shocked to find out is related to low serotonin, is not feeling good enough, not feeling any self-worth, and being self-critical. All of that is related.
yeah, that's shocking. So I can only assume I must be super high in serotonin. Um,
Yeah. I know
um,
some people that would say that about you.
So listen, yeah, if you have any of those symptoms, or you do a Google search and find the rest of the symptoms, of which there's many, and you've not been getting results with the things that you've been doing, then you really need to try this. Okay, so
Mhm.
if that sounds like you, if any of those symptoms, let me go back to some of the key ones so you can relook at that. If any of those areas and some of the others we've mentioned, or some you can do a search on, and that's just the low serotonin ones. There's also high serotonin ones, but in all honesty, the high serotonin ones you normally have if you're on certain types of drugs, Prozac,
Mhm.
other ones like
Yes.
that, which affect serotonin levels. So if you're not on any of
Mhm.
those drugs, you probably don't have high. You're probably going to be having low. Have a look at those symptoms, do a bit of research. If that's you, contact Stacy or myself. If you're one of my contacts, and we will hook you up with more information. Or if you want to purchase, we'll help you with that. Like I say, it's a money back guarantee. What is the cost of this thing, Stacy? You've just bought some. What's the cost in the US?
Um, I I went ahead and signed up for the subscription because I did a lot of research before I ordered. And to do the subscription, it's 55, and then if you don't want the subscription, it's $70.
Right. So $55, which I'm amazed at, because when I learned about this, I didn't know the price, and I guessed the price, and I was thinking in the region of 90, which is a lot.
Mhm.
These kind of things normally are expensive, so I think that's very reasonable.
Mhm.
So $55. Now, if you're not in the US, it's a little more challenging because the company is only in the US right now. We can get it to other countries, but we have to jump through a couple of hoops. So get in touch. We are really keen to get this out there, educate people, get it in people's hands, because this thing is going to change a lot of lives. I've been a little bit handicapped when people have come to me with some of these issues, because some of these issues are challenging with natural health, but they're also challenging for the doctors. They're just challenging. That's why a lot of people have it, because it's difficult to reverse it. That's why
Mhm.
they go to the doctors and they do the natural route, and they might improve a bit, but they still have these problems. This is something that can change all that. So if you want to see the patents, if you want more information, we can hook you up with that. If you want to order, and then be fully supported after you've ordered, we can also hook you up with that. Okay, unless there's anything else that you want to say, Stacey, then
Nope.
we've pretty much covered the main points that we needed to.
Mhm. Yeah, and I'll post my progress as I go, but I'm just so blown away by the very first time I tried it being so effective. I just had to do a video with you, and we haven't done one in a while anyway, so perfect
And I
timing.
think people that followed you can see the improvement, or you're getting better and better and better. You're getting slimmer. You're glowing.
Mhm.
Now you still have your bad days. Let's not try and say that it's all the direction like that. No, you have your bad days still, especially
Yes.
if you get
Mhm.
stressed. and that tends to take you down. But for the most part, wow, what a change! I'm so delighted to watch your progress. I know a lot of other people are too, and so if you want to start changing your health, you do need to take some action. And here's an action that's very easy to take because it's very reasonable cost, and you get your money back if it doesn't work.
And
Can't.
mental health is a huge piece to, if you don't have the right mindset, you might as well not even bother trying any of the things I've tried, you know? So getting your mindset right is super, super important when trying to heal yourself.
And we do give ongoing free support for anybody that takes any of our recommendations. We're not just recommending stuff and then leaving you there. You get
No.
support.
Yes.
All right. Have a great day, everybody. God bless. I hope this video has piqued your interest to at least do some research, or better still, contact us and get more information. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye.